Emerging? I hope you know what I mean.
But very adorable.
That it is a floppy paperback. I have issues. I don't want to talk about it. Hello lovely bookworms, I'm Esmay from Paradise of Pages on Instagram and also on Twitter, and welcome to a new video. As you could have already seen from the title, today we are doing another round of Game of the Books, and this is probably going to be an interesting one because for once I've decided not to repeat books. I have been repeating quite a lot, and I do have to say that I didn't finish a lot last month. I actually had 5 books on my TBR, and those were The Toll, A Pinch of Magic, The Girl Who Stole an Elephant, Crown of Oblivion, and The Whisper Man. And the 2 that I've at least touched are The Girl Who Stole an Elephant, which I have finished, and A Pinch of Magic, which isn't finished yet. But I'm gonna attempt to finish that before the month is up. We'll see if I do. I highly doubt it though, because I'm reading different things. I'm also in a huge reading slump, and I'm very tempted to just reread The Wrath and the Dawn. I have issues. I don't want to talk about it. But that is the reason why I've decided to do 4 rolls this month instead of 5. And I basically just, I want to see month to month how many rolls I want to do and that kind of thing, because I feel like sometimes reading really becomes something that I have to do and sort of a chore, and I don't want reading to become that. I read because it's fun and I want to keep it fun. So that's that. Also, if you're wondering, my nails are different from the footage you're about to see. The reason for this basically is that I filmed all of the rolls yesterday and then the lighting was gone. I had to film the rest today and we did my nails in between. So there you have it, new nails. I hope you don't mind. It's just a lot easier for me to film all the rolls at once and then film this. You probably understand, it doesn't change anything. And do you have any more things to report? I don't think so. So let's just begin with roll number 1. Okay, so welcome to another round of Game of the Books. It is a little bit slanted. There we go. That's better. I think that's better. Anyway, let's just start with roll number 1. As I said, I'm gonna do 4 rolls, and yes, the board looks more and more, painful. But we'll figure it out soon. But for this month, we're sticking with this. So, roll number 1. 14. Blue. Read a book in an entirely new world. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so the first roll was a blue. As you also could have seen, the board is really in the need for an update. And I think, or at least I'm working on making a board on my iPad so that I can basically make it a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more my style. This is still my style. I mean, I made it, but I'm thinking of making one on my iPad and then getting multiple different places. So if I get just say 2 or something, that is read a specific book, as in title of a book, something along those lines, but that will all become clear by the time that I actually remake the book. No, the board. But for now, we have roll number 1, and roll number 1 is a blue, and that is read a book in an entirely new world. I actually got really excited for this because I have quite a few of these that I still have to read. I actually at first wanted to go for the 3rd book in the City of Brass duology. The reason why I'm pointing here is because the Kingdom of Copper is right here, which is the Empire of Gold. But considering it's not an entirely new world for me, I thought that wouldn't be cool. So I picked a new book. And the book that I've picked for this is The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. It has been a while since I picked this up. I picked this up in July, August, I think, but it's been on my TBR a lot longer than that. And in general, I just think that I am very, very excited to get into this one. This is basically situated in Camelot, which is, for me, an entirely new world. I've never read anything in Camelot either, so that's a sort of double win. And this, I think, is, of course, I mean, it says it in the title, about Guinevere, and something about Guinevere not being Guinevere, I really don't know too much about it. As you probably know from previous videos, I've mentioned this a lot of times, I don't know too much about my books apart from the fact that at one point I've read the synopsis and it has piqued my interest and put it on my TBR. So I'm very, very excited to get to this. I think it is stunning. Also, the best thing about this is that it is a floppy paperback, and your girl loves floppy paperbacks. So that is book number 1. Also, by the way, if you're hearing something, it is probably Nina, who is right next to me here. That's why I'm looking down sometimes. Like I said, this one is right over here. You're so adorable. Yeah, you are. You're so adorable. You're also very needy, though, but very adorable. And she has been very, very attached lately. I have no idea how come or why or anything other than that, but she is adorable, and we have to give her some attention. So if my hand is down here, that's why. Roll number 2. 8. 8 is a yellow. Read a book set in nature. That is definitely interesting. Let's see if we can actually find one like this. So roll number 2. Roll number 2 is read a book set in nature. And this one was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. And the reason I think why it was a lot more difficult for me is due to the fact that most of them aren't set completely in nature. And if they are, I've already read them. So that made it difficult. But I actually picked a book that has an important nature element in it. And also one that I'm super excited for. And that is Girl Serpent Thorn. This basically is about a girl who's poisonous to the touch, and her sort of safe place is a garden, which is nature. So that's why I picked this one. I do have to say with this book that I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say on the fence, but a little hesitant. And the reason for this is that I read the Shatter Me trilogy, or at least the original 3 that were out at the time that I read them. Mind you, I read all 3 of them, and let's just keep it at it was not for me, and I'm never ever gonna read anything of those books again. So I'm a little hesitant with this one, but on the other hand, I am really, really excited because I've heard good things. Also, how stunning is this? This is actually the Fairy Loot edition, which I believe is signed as well. It is tiny, but it is signed right there. Is there something below the cover? Oh, I didn't even know that. Apparently there's a design underneath the cover. I never check that. I also always forget to check if there's something on the naked cover. I don't know. I just forget about it a lot of the times. But, oh, now I can't get it. That's probably why. We're good. So this is book number 2, and I am excited to get to it. Roll number 3. 8. I think, let me quickly look at it. Green, blue, it's a purple. Because this is a pink and then a yellow. Yeah, okay, purple. Read a book in first person. Ooh, these are my favorite types or sorts of books, so yes. Roll number 3 was actually a lot more difficult for me than I thought it would be. Roll 3 was a purple, and it says read a book in first person. And this was difficult for me. The reason for this probably is because it's my favorite type of book. I just love reading first person, and I love going sort of into the book and immersing yourself with the main character. Merging? Merging? I hope you know what I mean. And that is probably why all of the ones that I physically own are all third person, or at least the ones that I haven't read yet. So I decided to go with a sequel, and the book that I'm going to be reading is Blood and Honey by Shelby Maheren. Hey guys, editing Esmay here. I know that I said I would read Blood and Honey, but I actually want to shift that out for Serpent and Dove, and the reason for that is that I really want to reread Serpent and Dove before I go into Blood and Honey, which I hadn't realized just yet. So that is also first person, and I'm going to be reading Serpent and Dove instead of Blood and Honey. Then the final roll, number 4. 7. Again, I think. Another yellow. Sorry, knocked you guys over. We should be fine. I'm holding the camera. Might be a little bit shaky, but read a book that's been on your shelf for ages. Ooh, that is interesting. I'm gonna have to look through my shelves. This should be fine. Okay, final roll. Okay, so moving on to the final roll, which was a yellow, and that is read a book that's been on your shelves for ages. I took that as physical shelves because I'm pretty sure I have a prompt on there that says read the book that's been on your Goodreads TBR the longest, or TBR shelves. So I went for that, and I basically just went throughout my shelves and then realized that there's still a huge series on there, which is completed, might I add, that I haven't read yet. So that's what we're gonna pick up, and the book that I'm talking about is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I have had this for a long time, so I think it's high time that I finally tear into this. I am excited though. That said, I don't know too much about it anymore because of the fact that it's been on my TBR for so long. I do know that there's about, I think, 5 or 6 books, so if it's good I might just continue this throughout the month of November if I am good at continuing series, which I usually am not, but we're gonna attempt it anyway, and that is actually the final book for this month. So for the physical TBR that I have here, I actually have 3 books physical, so The Guinevere Deception, Girl, Serpent, Thorn, and Fallen Kingdoms, and then I'm adding Blood and Honey, of course, and those are all new to my TBR, or at least to my TBR videos, so aren't you proud of me? I just wanted to do something different, but also sort of get out of the slur of the books that I still have to read and haven't yet. Maybe that will help my reading slump, I don't know. I've managed to slip myself back into one after finishing quite a couple of books the last couple of months, but it is what it is, and we're gonna try and get out of it. So I think this is everything for this video, and if you have any suggestions or ideas for a future Game of the Books board, please do let me know. You can always do that in the comments. You can also tell me which books you want to read this month or which books you have read in October. I always love to see the books that you guys are reading. Have you read any of the books that are on my list here? Because if so, let me know what you thought. I always love to know that. Also, if you want to reach me anywhere else, my Twitter and my Instagram is linked down below. I'm active on both. Wow, big surprise. For once, actually, big surprise, because Instagram has been on the back of my mind for a couple of months, but I'm active again. That said, you can also find all of Femke's social media down below, and also the link to her book sleeve shop, so if you want to check that out, that would be lovely as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post, and I hope to be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye!